Every time someone from your audience goes and searches YouTube or searches Google, or when they open up a social media app, there is an aggressive competition for their click, right? All of your competitors are competing aggressively for their attention. And if you aren't showing up and winning the click, and you aren't winning at this competition for their attention, you're not going to be growing your audience as fast as you could. Your list isn't going to be growing, and you sure as heck aren't going to be making nearly as much money as you could online. But when you figure this game out, and when you implement what you learn from this video here, plus I'm going to give you some of my proven frameworks and templates that I've used successfully for years on end now. When you implement this, you're going to notice that you're winning more clicks, your videos and your blog posts will get more views, and ultimately your list is going to grow faster and you'll make more money doing the exact same work that you're already doing. Okay, but we need to geek out a little bit on the platform that you are publishing to, because each and every one of these platforms has a little bit of nuance. For example, here on YouTube, the kind of components that I have to capture your attention and to get your click is the title and the thumbnail, okay? Those are the two things that I'm manipulating, that I'm using, that I'm leveraging in order to get you to choose me versus all of the other videos that you saw here on YouTube when you opened the app or when you did a search that led you to this video. But on blogs, for example, you only have the title and the description text, and that's it. So each one of these different platforms is a little nuanced. On social media, generally, you have an image, and then you have the first sentence or two of the actual social media post, and you can extrapolate this all the way out to email, right? On email, what you have is your subject line, right? And somebody opens up their email inbox and there's a list of subject lines, and if yours captures their attention, does what it needs to do that we're going to talk about here in a minute, you're going to get the click, you're going to get the attention, you're going to get them to read your email, which then ultimately can lead them to your affiliate link, to your product, to your offer, to your video, or whatever it is you're promoting in that moment. So the first thing that you need to really kind of take to heart and be honest about is that you need to geek out on your platform that you're working on, and you really need to take this game of winning the click seriously. So the first place that it always starts is research. Now, if you're doing YouTube and you want to attract people from the search engine side of YouTube, or if you're doing Google, one of the first places you have to start is in keyword research. Now, I'm not going to do a deep dive on keyword research here today because I have dozens of free videos on my channel that teach step-by-step how to do keyword research the right way. I will link to those in the description down below, but if you're on YouTube, I mean, at bare minimum, you should be using the autocomplete as your keyword research tool if you don't want to use one of the premium keyword research tools. But what this allows you to do is to create the content that they're already looking for. Now, this might sound oversimplified, but it's absolutely one of the keys that has led to my wife's blog getting over 80 million visits. And that is the fact that we went out and we looked through keyword research data to find what are the topics that our users are actually searching for. And then the second step of research is to go Google that keyword phrase to see what's already working, okay? So by these two steps right here, you're gonna leave 95% of your competition in the dust because no one does this tiny bit of research. But what it's gonna allow you to do is understand what they're looking for, and then you can see what's currently winning the click and what's currently winning the competition, because you can trust that when Google shows a list of results, okay, that search engine results page that we often call a SERP, right? S-E-R-P, search engine results page. When Google shows you that list of 10 websites that are the potential answers to the question that you just asked, you can always assume that the number one has like the highest click-through rating and it's the most compelling answer, versus number 8 is going to be less compelling than number 5, okay? So it's just a simple ranking structure, and the same is pretty much true with YouTube. Now, the goal here is not for you to find a keyword phrase and go look at what someone else is doing and literally copy them word for word. The goal is for you to improve upon what is already working with something that's a little bit more curiosity inducing, okay? You can make a bigger promise, you can make a bolder promise, or you can pique their curiosity in a new and unique way, and that might be enough for you to overtake your competitors that are currently winning at that click, okay? Now, what works to improve upon what's already working? Generally speaking, you want to lead with ideas that are counterintuitive. You want to build curiosity. You want to talk about things that are surprising, how to get it done faster, right? If everybody's promising a result and you can promise that result faster, that is pretty much always going to work because people want the results that they want faster than anyone else can offer it to them. The cheaper option, the easier option. And also anytime that you can kind of help your audience get into a state of cognitive dissonance. Now, this might not make sense, but let me give you a little example from the world of comedy. You often see comedians talking about things that are normal in everyday life for each and every one of us, but they present that idea in a way that like, whoa, I hadn't thought about it that way. And that's what they call their bit, right? So a comedian's bit is one of their ways of just looking at the landscape, of looking at what's going on, what's normal to all of us, and then finding a new light to shine on that thing that we all know and that we all agree on. And that little cognitive dissonance that they create gets their audience really engaged and really enthralled. And that's what you need to start doing as a content marketer with your videos. How do you build more curiosity within your template, within your titles? How do you build more curiosity within your thumbnails? How do you create this cognitive dissonance? And if you notice, a lot of the biggest and fastest growing YouTubers in the world, they're doing things that many people think is impossible. And then people have to go see, like, how could you ever do that? I'm going to stack 83 school buses on top of each other. I've never watched a Mr. Beast video before in my life, but I believe he's a good example of doing things that are so large and so like surprising that people have no choice but to click on his video and watch the video. And you have an opportunity to create that kind of an experience for your people. Now, in this video right here that we're talking about, ultimately, I'm teaching you how to write compelling titles. And me to title this thing, how to write a compelling title, isn't the most compelling way for me to do that. So I've leveraged one of my proven frameworks, which is a secrets framework, which we'll talk about here before, to position this idea of you really need to write really good titles. You need to take the whole title and thumbnail thing seriously, or on blog, you need to take your title thing seriously. And I've tweaked it around to explore this idea through the lens of this is my number one traffic secret. Because when I win the click and I'm getting a higher click-through rate, Google and YouTube both rank my videos higher and higher and higher and higher, and their algorithms bring me more people. Why? Because I'm getting more clicks on average than my competitors. So what I did is I took a boring idea that's actually really important for your long-term success, and I had to dress it up a little bit through the kind of like my number one traffic secret concept that we've used to get you this far in here. You always need to be testing and monitoring what works for you, okay? So you can look at my best performing videos, you can see what's worked for me, but if you're not in my exact niche, the odds are that what I'm doing isn't exactly going to work for you. And this is one of the blessings I've had in my life, with my wife having her brand in the spirituality and meditation space, and me having this brand, teaching everything we did to turn that into $1 million business. So I can see what works in one niche, and I can see that those things do not always work in my niche over here. But when I go forth and I start to look at my competitors, at what's working when I put out a new Facebook ads video and I teach how to do Facebook ads, I can go look at all of the current ranking Facebook ads videos that are currently working for my competitors. And I'm like, okay, that's what's working. How do I make mine more compelling? How do I make mine more irresistible? How do I build even more curiosity to guarantee that when YouTube shows me next to all of those competitors, that I get the click? Because again, if you aren't winning the click, you aren't driving traffic, and you ultimately aren't growing your business online. Final note before we get into the templates. You always have to deliver on your promises, okay? So the whole world of clickbait stems from people using titles and thumbnails that they don't actually deliver on. And if you're using ultra hyped up, compelling titles that you don't actually deliver on when you get into the video, you're going to hurt your brand over time. And we have seen in the 15 or 10 years since like the BuzzFeeds of the world and those ultra kind of like clickbait sites and news places, they've all gone out of business, right? They had a little moment where they did well and they've all pretty much gone out of business. Their value has dropped aggressively. And ultimately the world of clickbait doesn't work because people don't like being fooled. Okay, that's a red flag. That means that you might go into that category of people I call scammers, because you told me in the title I was going to learn this, but you bait and switched me and you gave me me something. You didn't deliver on the promise that you made through your title and your blog post title and your YouTube title. Therefore, I don't trust you anymore. And if you lose the trust of your audience, it's game over from that point in time. So always deliver on your promises. You want to make it as big and as bold and as compelling and as curiosity-inducing as you can, but it has to be honest, and you actually have to be able to deliver on that promise. Oftentimes, I find myself writing titles that are bigger than what I'm able to create or bigger than what I'm going to deliver on inside of the video, and then I scale it back. So I'll have a working title as I come out onto my property with my cell phone to create a video, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go in this direction, and then I deliver the video, and then in my process of actually getting the video up and running, I might bring it back a little bit because maybe what I said in the video didn't exactly cover that. There's a little tweak to it, or I did it in a little bit different way. So I like to think of really big ideas, that kind of comedian's bit concept. I like to think of a bit or a hook that's going to be really interesting, right? The idea of a traffic secret. My number one traffic secret is a more compelling hook than learn how to write great titles. So I take that core concept and I build the video and I build the title and I build the thumbnail around that core concept, that big idea that I think is going to hook you into ultimately consuming my content. So here are some proven winners that work time and time and time again. Number one, super simple. How to, right? Most people who are searching on Google or YouTube are looking for how to do something. So oftentimes we just need to let them know that they can learn how to do the thing they want to do right here in our video. So I've had some videos that were how to run Facebook ads start to finish type videos that actually showed how to run Facebook ads start to finish that have gotten hundreds of thousands of views because most people in my niche would charge $497 or $997 to teach that stuff. I simply had to put it up for free on YouTube. I was one of the first people to start teaching Facebook ads for free here on YouTube. And that alone, the fact that I was just willing to teach them how to do what they wanted to do, that it worked extremely well. Then off of the how-to framework, you can build on additional components to kind of make it even more compelling. So you could do how to blank in specific amount of time, right? So how to launch an affiliate website in a weekend. That's a way to add the time component to the how-to. How to lose 10 pounds in 30 days. How to lose 5 pounds in 7 days. Okay, so what we're doing is we're taking the result that they want, how to lose weight, and then we're putting a specific amount of time on it, and that together is more compelling than the generic how to lose weight. How to lose weight, pretty generic. How to lose 5 pounds, kind of generic, but a little bit better. How to lose 5 pounds in 7 days without starving yourself, we're there. We are now at a very compelling hook, a very compelling idea. Now, can you actually deliver on that? I don't know. I'm not in that niche, but this is the kind of thought process that you have to run with in order to find what's essentially the whole hook for your video that also is mirrored or explained or advertised through the title and the thumbnail itself. So we've got how to in specific amount of time, and then how to without. Okay, and the without part is without their biggest frustration. Okay, so how to launch an affiliate website in 30 days without writing all of the content yourself. How to run Facebook ads without going out of pocket. These are the ways for you to use the without, because most people are either driven by going towards what they want or away from the things that they don't want. So when we use a how to without, we're saying how to get the result that you want. So we're attracting the people whose mindset works on the I want to go forward towards my goal mindset, but you're also attracting the people who want to run away from those things that they don't want in their life. When you can add the time component, how to lose 5 pounds in 7 days without starving yourself, without feeling hungry all the time, you have a very compelling bit and a very compelling idea to work with. The next one is blank for blank. So the world of the internet and the way the internet works today is we have 1,000,001 ultra micro niches. And most people think that they need to be in the weight loss niche, right? But the truth is that you really want to get down into the weight loss for a very specific group of people. An example of this is fitness for pickleball players. Now, most people who think of the pickleball niche, for example, are going to think like, okay, I got to teach pickleball. I got to teach them which racket to get, how to hit, the rules of the game. But ultimately, if you think about the type of people who are playing pickleball, there's a lot of people who don't have the flexibility. They don't have kind of the strength. Maybe they're in their 50s or their 60s and they're getting active again. And they see pickleball as a way for themselves to stay fit, but yet they don't have stamina to play a whole long game at peak performance because they haven't been doing much. Bingo. So you can help the pickleball people with fitness. And that's the framework, right? It's fitness for pickleballers. And when you really dig down into just about any niche in the world, so I could teach affiliate marketing for network marketers, right? I could help people in the network marketing world to earn additional streams of income and potentially to attract more network marketing distributors on their team through affiliate marketing. Or I could do internet marketing for network marketers or email marketing for network marketers. And when you start to realize that every niche is full of like a million sub niches like this, that's when the light bulb can go off. And the truth is that if you're new, really focusing in and zeroing in on these small groups. So another one would be like yoga for knee pain or yoga for back pain. And when your entire yoga practice and everything you teach around yoga is so specific to people who are dealing with this one challenge that they can't get over in their life, you bypass those gigantic yoga influencers who own the yoga phrase or the 15-minute yoga at home phrase. You bypass all of that jazz because you're going and being of service to this really small problem for these little people. And then when you establish yourself there, you can branch out and you can grow from there. So it's easier for you to start at a very low sub niche. Fitness for pickleball is a great place to start because there's probably not that many people searching or teaching fitness for pickleball. But when you dominate there, you could either go into pickleball skills or you could possibly go into fitness for badminton and fitness for all of the other sports that are similar that you work with. And this is much more about you and what you're good at and what you're good at helping people get results than it is ultimately about what the audience wants. Okay, so that's the blank for blank framework that works wonderfully. Now, the next one is amalgamation of options. Okay, you can mix and match these next ones, a better way of saying it. 7 steps to get the result that you want. Okay, 3 keys to getting the result that you want. 5 ways to getting the thing that you want. And I use this framework all of the time. One of the things I love about this framework is that the big idea is the hook, the title's taken care of, and I know what I need to do in that video. So when I did my giant 11 steps to making 100 grand with affiliate marketing course that's freely available on my website, my free affiliate marketing crash course, right? I'm teaching 11 steps to making 100 grand with affiliate marketing. I've got a super specific value number, right? That we're working within the world of specificity. It's based on my case study that I built that I did step by step. And I just lay out those 11 steps for you. So what it does is it gives me a very specific and compelling title to the kind of piece itself. And then it also gives me the framework. So now I know all I got to do is go through all my 11 points in my video and we're there. So I could do 7 steps to creating killer YouTube videos that crush. Okay, I just got to come up with 7 steps. And what I usually do is I commit to doing a hashtag number, right? I'll do a number of steps to a great YouTube video and then I'll just sit there and I'll kind of brainstorm like I did here and I'll write out step 1, okay, do this, come up with a bit, step 2, title, step 3, record it, step 4, edit, and I'll just count how many steps I have and that's what ultimately goes in my title. So I don't necessarily speak it out. I might speak it out in the beginning of the video. That it's kind of dependent on the situation. But what you're also going to notice is that you can create a 5 ways to grow a YouTube channel video, but then you could do 7 steps to publishing on YouTube. So I can nest these ideas together and I can actually create a lot of content about growing YouTube channels, getting your videos clicked on, all that whole YouTube niche. If that's my niche that I'm in, I can create multiple pieces of content that are focused on different levels of awareness of my audience. Because someone who's looking for the 7 steps to, they know what they're trying to do. But someone who's looking for the 5 ways to, they don't really know what steps to take yet because they don't know which way they're going to go. So the 5 ways to grow an audience online is one thing, but the 7 steps to growing your audience on YouTube is a totally different thing. And also the 5 steps to growing your audience from a blog and the 10 steps to growing your audience through social media and on and on. And this is notice how the concept of like frameworks, they help for us to create these really compelling hooks and these compelling titles. They also create structure that makes it easy for you to create the content over and over. And it gives us this breadth of ideas to where we can create lots and lots and lots of pieces of content around the similar topic idea, thus helping us show more relevance in the search engine for that topic idea. But then ultimately, it gives you a ton of data that you get to look back through so you can see which titles worked better for your audience. And this is one of the keys to success with everything online, but especially with this concept of winning the competition. Go create 100 videos. Okay, title them the best you can based off the frameworks we've covered. I got one more for you as well, the secrets framework, which you get already, but title them as best you possibly can. Go create the best content you can. Over the course of 100 videos, you're going to get really comfortable on camera. You're going to build competence, but you're also going to fill up your analytics dashboard with all these little data points of which videos did best. And whether you're looking back through your blog posts in Google Analytics, they're going to show you, or Google Search Console, Google Search Console will show you what your click-through rate is on each blog post with the title that you have. That's your way of measuring how good am I doing at the competition for clicks. And then in YouTube, it's just the same thing, right? YouTube's going to show you what your click-through rate is inside of that analytics dashboard on each and every video. So you can go look at all of your videos and compare them with each other. Okay, these 4 got the highest click-through rate and these 10 got the lowest click-through rate. And then you just go for a walk in nature and think about it. Why did people click on that more than that? And if you're on YouTube, you got to think thumbnail and title combined. If you're on the blog, it's just your title and also your description. So the last proven winner is secrets. Secrets revealed. There's a lot of ways. Go use a thesaurus. There's other ways to say secrets revealed, but ultimately to like meditation secrets revealed, people are going to want to watch that. Pickleball fitness secrets revealed, people are going to want to watch that. We as humans have this little thing, and when we know there's a secret out there and we're on the outside of an inside joke, we just need to get on the inside. We need to know what's going on inside of that video or in that blog post. We need to know the secret to make sure we're not missing one of those key things that's ultimately going to be responsible for our success or our failure. And that's one of the cool ways, or one of the powerful ways that you can leverage curiosity. I can't overstate the power of curiosity, right? Yes, the how-to headlines can be very powerful, but when instead of saying like how to build out a sales funnel alternative or how to build a sales funnel on your own, you can turn that around to be a ClickFunnels alternative or a go high level funnels alternative, which are very specific software tools that a lot of people in my niche would understand. But it's a way of explaining that I have a secret to reveal you without saying and without hitting it on the nose, saying XYZ secret revealed. But if you learned how to do what you do through a specific lineage of teachers. Let's say you're in the used car business and you learned the secret to selling used cars. Boy, you think all the other people out there trying to learn how to sell cars better would like to learn your secrets for selling used cars? Absolutely, right? Are they going to click on a how to sell used cars, or are they going to click on a used car secrets that sold $1 million worth of cars in September? One of those is way more compelling than the other. And the one that's the most compelling, that offers the biggest benefit, is truly going to attract the most clicks to you. And when you get more clicks than your competitors do in this competition, you're going to rise up and up and up and up in the algorithm. Now, the final note, okay, before we get into the advanced idea, is when you're using search engine optimization to drive traffic. Now, this means that you want to get people searching on YouTube. When they search for a specific keyword, you want them to find your video. Or when people are searching on Google, you want them to find your blog post. You started with keyword research. You got to get the keyword in the title. If the keyword's not in the title, you won't get the impressions. You won't even show up on page 1 if you leave the main keyword out of the title. So within all this framework that you just learned, you know that you got to get the pickleball fitness inside of your keyword title, because you can show through your keyword research tool that 1,000 people a month are searching for pickleball fitness, right? So if you know they're searching for pickleball fitness and you make a great video that teaches the 7 steps to, or the 7 ways to pickleball fitness, you got to get the words, the actual words pickleball fitness at the beginning of your title whenever possible, because you actually have to optimize the title for the search engine algorithms to understand that your video is the most relevant video for that item. And then the search engine algorithm begins monitoring your click-through rates, and that's how it knows how well you did at winning the competition for the click. And if you rank well because you got the keyword in the right place and you've optimized it appropriately, and you get a high click-through rate compared to all the other people who show up on that page, you, my friend, have set yourself up to have a piece of content that will drive traffic to your brand. It'll bring leads and customers into your brand, potentially for years on end. And that's what I love about this game, is that I can create a video, and if I get the title right, if I get the big idea right, if I get the hook right, if I get the keyword in the right place, and it sticks, and I get a good click-through rate from all of that, that video can bring me traffic, leads, customers, and cash flow through affiliate commissions for literally years on end. The last idea is an advanced idea, and it's called A/B split testing, okay? And this concept is split testing your titles. Now, on YouTube here, there is a wonderful tool called Tubebuddy, and I pay as a premium customer for Tubebuddy because they have what's called an A/B split testing tool. And what they do is they run title 1, the one that I have above showing up today, and then tomorrow they'll plug in title 2. And then the day after that, they go back to title 1, and then the day after that, they go back to title 2. And they're measuring the click-through rate, and I can test the title, I can test the description, I can test the thumbnail. And what this allows me to do is really, really zero in and isolate what are those components in the thumbnail, in the title, that get the most clicks. Now, this is an advanced tool. If you don't yet have your first 50 videos, I don't think you need to start doing split testing on your videos. But once you have some momentum, you've committed, you've proven to yourself that you're showing up day in and day out on your YouTube videos, it does make sense to go get that tool in order to start running split tests, because I have a video that's 3 years old now. And last week I tested a new title on a 3-year-old video. In 4 days, my new title was not just a proven winner. It brought me over twice as many clicks, and the people who clicked actually watched 2 minutes more of that video than people who clicked on the other title. Think about that for a second. Just by changing a few words, and all I did is I actually flip-flopped the title. So what was in the beginning of the title and the end, I moved to where what was at the end became the beginning, what became the beginning became the end. And that one change doubled the amount of traffic to the video, and it added 2 minutes to the average watch time. So what does the YouTube algorithm do in response to seeing these positive metrics inside of my video? That video is moving up and up and up in the rankings. That video is getting shown more often in the browse side of the algorithm. And that video went from kind of floundering at a low level of traffic to now that traffic's kicking up like a hockey stick 3 years after first publishing it. And that's why there's no real rush for you to get in the A/B testing tool if you haven't published your first 50 or your first 100 videos yet. You can go back to it later and you can really improve upon it. But if you're fully committed and you're in the weeds and you're like, Miles, I need to just be as absolutely like specifically focused and detailed and prim and proper with every single step of the process I can from day one. If you're one of those type of people, I encourage you to jump in on that tool right away. My link as an affiliate is in the description below. And Tubebuddy also has a YouTube keyword research tool that's very inexpensive. You can get that at the lowest level of their subscription. I think it's like $5 or $9 per month. And it's a great keyword research tool for YouTube. But ultimately, your goal when you're crafting a video idea, okay, it starts with a bit, kind of like a comedian would, right? I'm going to talk about titles, but titles are boring. So for the last 2 days, my wife and I have been bouncing around, babe, what's the hook? What's the bit? What's the big idea, right? Like how to write a good title isn't big enough. So then we realized that we could kind of leverage this traffic secrets revealed, my number one traffic secret to growing faster ultimately. And I haven't dialed in the title. You'll see what it is above. I haven't actually typed it out yet. But knowing that angle is probably going to be more compelling based on my past data. And now I have my title. I'll figure out my thumbnail that's going to create as much curiosity to do everything I can to get the click. And then here's the most important part. Once you have the click, you have to hold their attention. You have to deliver on your promises and you have to help them get the results that they want. And if you forget that every visitor to your website right? And every visitor to your YouTube channel is a human being. They're real people. They have challenges. They have problems. Their time is precious. Their time is ultra valuable. If you waste their time, they're going to leave. If you waste their time multiple times, they're not going to come back to you ever again, and the algorithm will notice. So you have to really embrace and honor their time, and you have to be efficient. You have to be clever. You have to hook them in. You have to actually help them get results. You have to be better than your competitors, not just at the title, not just at the thumbnail, not just at the description, not just in your email subject line, but then when they actually click, you have to hold their attention, and you really truly have to help them get what they want. And the best truth in the world of business is that you can have anything that you want in this world if you help enough other people get what they want. You got to package it in a way that's curiosity inducing. You got to package it in a way that's going to get the click, but then once they click, you have to deliver, and you really truly have to help them get what they want. And in this moment, I hope that this video has helped you understand the importance, the magnitude, the power of crafting great titles that'll get the click. And if you are now going to be more committed to winning the click with every piece of content that you create, I'm excited to hear about your successes that you're going to experience based on this free training that I took time on my Sunday afternoon to create for you. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up, leave me a comment if you have questions, and I look forward to helping you continue to grow your business with these free YouTube videos as time goes on. So keep me posted on how it's going for you, and I look forward to connecting with you on the next video. Until then, be well.